Another point I'll mention briefly is the use of an underhand grip rather than overhand grip with bent over rowing. Now normally, if somebody wants to work on their lats particularly, they'll use an overhand grip, in other words like this, okay, because this will limit the role of the bicep in the exercise. On the other hand, if you want to use your biceps, you want to use this partly as bicep training, you can take an underhand grip. In other words, rather than my hands being double over with the thumbs pointing towards each other, double under with the thumbs pointing away from each other, I'll take a biceps grip, and when I row, I'll row like this, and then I'll bring the bicep into play. Now, how comfortable that is for you really depends upon the individual. I can handle quite a lot of weight with a biceps grip, no problem at all. Some people may find that to be an exaggerated position, put a little bit of strain on the wrist, in which case you might want to consider doing the same exercise but using an easy or biceps bar, which is slightly curved, allows you to have your hand in a different position. Here I have a vital log bar, which is set up a little bit like a triceps bar but wider. This allows me to grip rather than this way, to grip this way, a little bit like, as I say, a triceps bar, or what people call a hammer grip. And of course, if I wish, I can use this for rowing, no problem, whatever height I want. That changes the grip to halfway between an overhand and an underhand hammer grip. Works very nicely. If you, for example, want a biceps exercise in a weights program and you haven't got one because you're doing mostly compound lifts, quite often using a biceps grip for bent over row is a good way of getting a little bit of extra bicep stimulation. On the other hand, being a heavy compound exercise, it also works very well in combination with, say, bicep curls if you want to really work the bicep. It's not a biceps isolation exercise, you're using a lot of other muscles, but it does work the bicep. And that can be useful in biceps training because it can teach the biceps simply to be able to have a lot of weight to work against. And if you get used to that, it can sometimes help you in more isolated work. That said, runners don't, generally speaking, need huge biceps, so it depends what you're training for.